And without further ado, here we go, guys. In the red, in the snazzy red, we do have NamhciR, of course, the red Terran. And in the yellow, we do have viOlet, the Zerg. And we are on a absolutely huge map. Like, when we talk about the largest of maps, most maps actually fit into about this much space. And then we have GSL Crevasse, which is actually more space than I can show on one screen. So guys, we'll have to see. One of the distinguishing features here is you have your natural, and then you have this third. And the third on this map, because it's the SE version, has the rocks on it. But it is a protected third. There is no way into it. There are no ramp, no destructible rocks. So easy 3 bases.
I like that. I like that for the Zerg especially.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. As we know, Terran and Protoss both races that are very dangerous on a 3-base plan here, and we'll see if NamhciR is going to be able to grow that much. We'll see what kind of play he's going to end up pulling off. I really enjoy the semi-close spawns here, and it looks like NamhciR could be
going gas first
on a path to a build that might benefit from these placements here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, the gas first, that's very interesting on a map this big. Getting the gas out first, and then barracks. That means that he will have exactly 100 gas when his barracks finishes, so he could throw down a factory immediately.
Pretty decent harass. They're delaying the barracks by a few seconds.
Yeah.
Nice job by the one drone. Could he get that SCV all the way down? He does. He took one down. That was actually a little bit of excitement there because he got both of those SCVs most of the way down in health with that excellent harass there. Props to viOlet for that nice drone work.
Yeah. Look at viOlet. Going to go ahead and take that hatch first. Feels safe and confident. Seeing, again, I mean, this is one of those things where against a player like QXC who goes barracks first, you have to worry when you get your hatch first, because he could send a Marine and build a bunker at your front. But when you go gas first and barracks second, it's safe to drone up after throwing that hatch down, because you know that there are no Marines on the way, because the barracks hasn't even finished yet. But look at this. The reactor immediately started, factory on the way as well. So, you know, when we talked about kind of the canonical opening in Terran vs. Zerg, we talk about getting the reactor Hellions out, transitioning into an expansion, or maybe an additional factory. If you're going to go all in, ooh, we see a second gas going down, so we might see Banshee play.
And on these positions, that's a good call, brother. Very good call. We'll see how quickly one of those tech labs gets thrown down. Denying the scout on the inside with this, though, and as a quite a good Zerg player there, Gwin. What's in your head when you see that wall off with that reactor there? Are you thinking Hellions?
Well, I mean, obviously, he can see the factory because he got to the top of the ramp. So he can see in enough to see that. And he goes, okay, well, oh, and look, this viOlet's going to try and sneak that drone in. No, going to get denied by that Marine. viOlet was so tricky, but not just quite tricky enough. But hold on, we have 2 starports. So we're actually going to see 2 port Banshee. So this is a variation of this build. You know, NamhciR obviously in this position says, you know what, viOlet is a very strong player. I want to avoid playing viOlet when he is at his strongest. So I will do a build which can potentially do a lot of damage. But viOlet's got the Overlords. Will he scout this? There's not a Marine patrolling this edge to block. It will all come down to when he sends that Overlord in.
Overlord's inching its way towards the back side of the Terran base there, as we see 2 out front of the expansion of viOlet. The Spinecrawler being relocated down towards the expansion as the 2 Hellions are going to be approaching the front of the base. There's also a little blip there on the front side of the Terran base out there. Uh-oh. Helly's going to try to get in and scout, but he's going to run into a bunch of those poor little Zerglings.
Yeah, viOlet with the great surround there on those lings and the good Spinecrawler placement as well. This actually covers the ramp. If you trap the Hellions in this space, they just get picked off by that Spinecrawler. Second Hellion on the way should get intercepted by all these lings. No, it looks like he's just going to wander right on past them. This is the kind of time, like that question you asked earlier, Rance, this is the time where you see this, you go, okay, he went for the early play. I should see an expansion around the 6-minute and 30-second mark to 7-minute mark. And if I don't see an expansion, I know that something is really up. Or if I see more Hellions, I know that something is really up. Now, he hasn't seen either of those things, so here he goes. He's going to sack that Overlord in, saying, you know what, I know there should have been an expansion by now, but I don't see one. And, oh, he is going to see absolutely everything. That's fantastic scouting out of viOlet, and this is really how you have to play Zerg.
And look at that, 4 Spore Crawlers in response to this Banshee play that was just scouted. Looks like they're going to make it up just in time as well. So viOlet with a well-timed Overlord sacrifice there is going to be able to completely be safe here following that.
He absolutely is. Look at those Banshees just turn right around. viOlet immediately going lair. Uh-oh, 2 Hellions sneak their way into the main. Can roast some drones here. viOlet pulling all of his drones. Maybe a little bit of an overreaction. But those Hellions will get cleaned up eventually. Looks like sooner rather than later.
Yeah, a couple of them go down there, but you can see plenty of Queens out to deal with these, to deal with the Banshees that are out on the map right now, and you can see a nice little possum game on the outside here. 4th Banshee going to join up now, and if we add many more to the fray here for the Terran, that's going to be a problem. My question to you, though, as an inexperienced Terran player, well, it's already answered because 2 more are about ready to come out. I was gonna find out if you would go past 4 here, Gwin.
I mean, you know, I don't play a lot of Terran. I think that the advantage of getting more than the 4 Banshees is just simply your ability to pick off an isolated Spore Crawler. Like, if he can bounce, fool his opponent to pulling his Queens down here, and then bounce into the main and pick off, say, this or this turret, he can do a ton of damage, potentially focus a lot of things down. I'm surprised he decided not to go with Cloak. I think that going with Cloak in this situation could have allowed him to do a lot of extra damage, but just look at how fast Banshees actually kill things. He's almost, oh, some huge, amazing transfused micro there out of viOlet, keeping that Queen alive, but any lesser Zerg would have lost that Queen instantly, and a Queen does go down.
All right, Gasket's focused down there, and this is exactly what you were just talking about there, Gwin, by piecemealing out some snipes of some units. 1 Queen going down as well, and this is now a huge problem for the Zerg in the base, as the 2nd Queen could go down. Nope, well-timed transfuse there is going to keep that 3rd Queen up, and we see some nice Banshee micro here.
And another Banshee joining the fray. I mean, we've reached a point where he's got so many Banshees. Look at how quickly he is actually bringing this layer down. He's just going to go ahead and target fire it. I'm not sure if this is the best move, losing too many Banshees. Not really watching where he was.
He's got it, Glenn. Oh, does he have it?
I don't think he does. And NamhciR
GG'd it out of that.
No, he knows he's completely all in at that point. Yeah. Failed to snipe the lair and said, you know what, I
thought he would have it. That was so close there, Gwin. Ideal amount of Spore Crawlers coming out from viOlet that time, and wow, what sound play from viOlet to get that scout in. He's very disciplined.
The thing that really saved him was moving. He had a Spore over here. He moved it to right here. And then he moved it to here. And Spores, you know, recently, or I guess a couple patches back, got the burrow time reduced on them. And that has really allowed Zerg players to hold off that sort of aggression. So we're going to go ahead and jump out of this game, guys. That was a fantastic hold by viOlet. And, you know, a very scary play out of NamhciR.
Absolutely.